Good afternoon, comrades. I gave a little bit of thought about what to wear today, but I didn't have to think about it too much, because one thing I remember and that I share with Leslie is that of being a really proud union member, I knew I had to wear something with the UAW emblem today. And this is the UAW Wheel of Solidarity, and with English and Spanish, Solidarity and Justice, Solidaridad y Justicia. I'd like to share what I was able to put together for our paper, Workers' World, which is also a connection I share with Leslie. And I'd rather read from a piece of paper, but I had some technical problems, so it's my first time giving a talk from a computer. In 1895, the year that Friedrich Engels died, a 25-year-old Lenin wrote a tribute. This tribute was an introduction to the first Russian language edition of Engels' works. He opened with 2 lines from Russian poetry. What a torch of reason ceased to burn, what a heart has ceased to beat. These lines, which I first came across as a communist youth, came back to me again when I had to put together some thoughts about Leslie Feinberg. One could not help but notice her mind and her intellect, whether hearing her speak for the first time or again after many times, or even in a short and pleasant conversation. Leslie was a patient but unyielding teacher. She taught us the word transgender as soon as it entered the English language. In 1994, at the founding convention of Pride at Work, I knew, thanks in part to Leslie, that it would not do to call ourselves just a lesbian and gay labor organization. Before the convention closed, I made sure to make a motion to call ourselves the Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, and Transgender Labor Organization. It passed unanimously. Back then, it was a vanguard position. Now it is the norm in the LGBTQ movement, and Leslie deserves a lot of credit for that. Leslie and I shared the experience of being queer in a factory environment. We worked at some horrible sweatshops, she in Buffalo and I in Cleveland, before I landed a UAW Chrysler job. I have met worker intellectuals in the factories, but too often they look down on their own class and tend to embrace capitalist, individualist ideology. If anything, they embrace it more than their coworkers. Leslie was also a self-taught worker intellectual, one who hated capitalism and fought for socialism. As a writer and editor, she absorbed vocabulary. I remember writing an article about the time in 2004 when George Bush stole the election in Ohio. I sent the email with the word malfeasance in the subject headline, but I didn't use it in the article because I thought the word was obscure. But when the next issue of the paper came out, sure enough, the headline referred to electoral malfeasance in Ohio. Leslie loved words, and words loved Leslie. But Leslie loved more than language. She loved the species for which language is unique. She loved humanity. She loved her class, the working class, and fought the hardest for the most oppressed. She knew even in her failing years, the 3 words, Free C.C. McDonald, chalked on a courthouse wall, would speak volumes. A warm and loving heart has ceased to beat, and the only real tribute we can pay is for ourselves to fight a little bit harder for the communist future. Thank you, comrades.